Hello, my name's Adam. Welcome to the Adam Project. Today I was gonna talk about my Kebonnixs 12 egg incubator, 12 egg incubator, and my experience with it so far. So here it is. This is my 12 Kebonnixs 12. Anybody that has one knows what this is a 12 egg incubator. Over here, I live in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and our humidity is around 30%, 25, 30, up to 35 sometimes. But usually it's around 30. And so, at first I wasn't filling up this thing all the way. Like, I would fill it up, like the first half, I was using the wet incubation, and I was filling it up to 55%. I was having a hard time maintaining 55%. Even with just the first little tray full of water, because there's two separate trays in here. You fill this up, and the first one, you fill this up right here, and you see the little bars, and you fill that up to that bar level, and it fills up the first tray. You fill it up above those little bar levels. There's two of them in there, and it'll fill up the second tray inside. I have fresh chicks that are hatched. It'll fill up that second tray on this side. Oh, see, there's a little separator in there. I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of hard to see it right over here. But I was filling it up like you're supposed to, and it wasn't. The humidity was going way through the roof. It was going way over 55. So I was having to leave this thing like halfway open, like keep it to where it's not open all the way like this, so that air would escape and humidity would escape more than just the little vent on top, because I had the vent all the way open. And so I was having hard times with the humidity. And then I was also having hard times using the wet incubation method. I had two chicks that have hatched that died. I'm using 101 temperature, so the eggs are growing faster than normal. So most of and this particular breed as well. And my eggs have been hatching on day 20, all of them. And the two that I checked on day 21 were dead inside of the egg. They had fully developed, they were just dead. And they pipped internally, but they died. So they suffocated. And so ever since those two, I've been paying attention and watching, seeing the air cell, watching it, candling it on even though I'm not supposed to, candling it on the day, day 19, day 18, day 19, and check them and see. As soon as I see that they've pipped internally, I give them, if I know that I checked it on day 19 and there was no pip, I check it on day 20 and there's a pip, I'm going to put a hole in that damn thing, just so that way there's a little hole that they can get some air in. And now, that some people will say that might cause them to shrink wrap and then not be able to hatch. But like I said, the humidity levels all the way up, and I haven't been able to. So because of having problems with this, I've started to do the dry incubation method. If you look it up online, so you don't add any water to the first 18 days, and then you're supposed to increase the humidity level not to 70 but to 65%. And then yesterday I was doing some more research, and I saw that a lady was saying not to use any humidity at all, 100% no water. You just let them do it like the chickens would. The chickens go and collect water on their feathers and put them on the eggs themselves, in the end of the incubation process in nature. But these people are not, and they're saying that the first one that'll hatch will moisten up the whole thing quite a bit. So anyway, I started using the dry incubation. Right now, I switched to the half. Dry through the 18 days and then wet through the lockdown period. But I only have two hens producing eggs, and one of them produces smaller eggs than the other, so I stopped using the smaller eggs, and I started using the larger eggs because I want larger eggs to come out of my hens and just start to get better into breeding and whatnot. And so I'm only incubating the larger eggs now. But anyway, so the incubator itself, I haven't had no issues with it. I haven't had to clean it other than the bottom tray. And I have eggs that are hatching, like I said, because I only get a couple eggs at a time. Like right now, I have 2 eggs that are hatched, and then this one will hatch tomorrow, and this one will hatch the next day. This one's going on day 18 today, in the back here. That one will go on day 18 tomorrow. And then in a week, those ones will go on day 18, these two. And then in another 5 days, those two will go in. So I'm hoping I'll get some more eggs in the next few days. It's been so hot out, my hens have not been laying. Well, mainly the one that makes the big eggs. This egg is so large. Look at that, 60, 68. I have one in there, 69 grams. It's crazy. But yeah, so that's why I have been starting to learn to help my chicks, because I know they're developed by day 20, they should be hatching. I should see a pip within the first couple hours of day 20. And if I don't, and I know that, like I said, I've been starting to candle them out in day 20, day 19, and whatnot. And so, and also I've been having my AC on, so it's more humid in here. It's colder in here, but I haven't had no problem with the temperature. And this thing, I haven't had no problem with the temperature or humidity. It maintains and gets up to humidity very quick, very fast, within 5 minutes. It says 3 hours on the paperwork, and it's 10, 15, an hour at most. And after I've learned, I've like, oh, I'll shut it all the way, and then I know, okay, I got it where it's supposed to be, and then I'll open it and back where it's supposed to be, and then bam, it stays. So that's how I've gotten it to be much faster, but just learning it. But I've also had to drill a 1/4-inch hole here. I don't know, so it comes with a little 1/8-inch hole right there on the side, and that vent, and there was not enough vent for me to get the moisture out and to keep it below 55% with that first little thing open. So I put another 1/4-inch hole here and another right there. See, I got a 1/4-inch hole here and a 1/4-inch hole here, and so that way now I have more vent, and then I just put tape on it, a couple pieces of tape over it when I need it to be shut. And if I need it to get up to 70% or something, and I can't get it up to 70, that was another thing. Before, I wasn't filling up that second tray. I thought I was, and I wasn't, until I opened it up the other day, and I watched it when I did filled it up. And so I wasn't putting enough water, and so I was having to shut it. All this says this is not ever supposed to be more than 1/3 open, 2/3 shut, 1/3 open. That's the most you can close it. But I've had to have it all the way shut in order to get the humidity level up to 70. And so that's why now that I've I started seeing that the hatchlings are having problems, most likely due to the humidity levels and the changing of the humidity levels throughout the incubation process and all this stuff. So that's why I made bigger holes, and that's why I switched to the dry incubation method. And now I'm going to switch again, that I read yesterday. I saw that video on YouTube with that lady talking about 100% humidity, no moisture, 100% dry, and you just let the eggs do their thing. You don't add any moisture ever. And when one hatches, the humidity level will go up, and you just pop the vent and let the humidity come out, and that's it. And maybe I'll have better hatch rates, or better rates with chicks being able to hatch on their own that way. That's what I'm thinking. And so that's what I'm going to try now. I'm going to switch. I'm going to end up taking all this water out as soon as these guys hatch. I've already got these two here, or these two over here with the going through the humidity level. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll do one more with the humidity level on, and then I'm going to switch it to no humidity level and see if that helps with all the rest of the eggs on the other side that are going to be coming. Because I've had 2 die, like I said, I told you, I had 2 die inside the egg. They fully developed, they pipped internally, and then they couldn't pop. And so that's when I started paying attention, and then I started helping them. I'll pop their eggshell so that way I know that they at least can breathe. And then that way, if I watch and pay attention after 12 hours, if they haven't had no pipping, they pipped internally and they haven't pipped externally, I've seen a really healthy chick develop and pip and pop out of that shell within 2 hours, an hour. And then I've seen other ones that are like, take a pip and then won't pop out till the next following day. These two that I have right here, they didn't even pip externally. And I knew that they hadn't pipped on the 18th and the 19th. And then they pipped. I checked them yesterday and I checked these ones and they was internally pipped and I got worried, so I popped the eggshell. And I could see inside and I saw it there. Most likely was going to be stuck inside the wrap, and that's what was going on. And so I waited 12 hours to see if they had externally pipped, and they didn't. So that's what I just did out in the bathroom. I popped them open because I know they're all right. And then I just pulled this one out of his eggshell, and he's fine. There was a little bit of yolk over there, but his belly button's all the way shut, so he's good. This one, she's really tired. She's been working. You can tell she's been working and trying to get out of that shell for a very, very, very long time. He is exhausted. So I've had, like I said, I've had two that died all by themselves without that's when I started helping them. And I had two that I saved their lives. And I had two that died because I opened them up and their vitellus wasn't all the way developed into their belly yet. And so, but at the same time, I mean, if they're taking forever to develop and they're on a fast stage to develop in a fast rate, at 101 degrees instead of 99 or 99, 100 or whatever, they develop faster. So if they're not developing faster, then it's kind of like, well, I don't really want an embryo that is just taking longer to develop. There's something wrong with it. And so don't want to keep that in my flock anyway. And all the embryos and all the chicks that are the slowest to pop out, I mark them, and I usually write it down on a piece of paper. I keep notes on everything on my breeding, and so I mark it down. And the one that is all the ones that come out of these smaller eggs, I have one left in here that's a small egg, and that's that one. You can see right there. All of those smaller eggs, this one and this one, they're all going to be eaten. I might get a couple eggs out of them and just to see what comes out, but most likely I'm just going to eat them. And because that way I keep the best in breed in my flock. And so, in that way, whatnot. But yeah, so I'm going to switch now on the next, I'm going to let this one hatch probably tomorrow. The next day she should hatch. Or pip, something. We got just day 20 today at 4 o'clock. 18, 19, 20. So this is day 18. Oh, 18, 19. So it's on day 20 today. Also, see, because I have all these some eggs that need to be rotated, and I had others before. I was opening up the thing and turning them all by hand, I'd make sure that the rotator wasn't on. And so I was turning the ones that needed to be turned by hand, and it just got too complicated. So I got smart, and I put some tape on the things. I made little trays out of tape. I put tape on both sides, inside and outside, so that way there's nothing sticky to hold the egg or nothing. But it's just a piece of paper that like a saddle in between the bars that hold all the eggs that don't need to be turned. And I put those on there, and that way the ones that don't need to be turned don't turn, and the ones that do continue to be turned. Because it was just getting too complicated turning the ones by hand. So, yeah. And that's my experience so far with the Kebonnixs incubator. It hasn't been bad. And now that I put those holes in there, I've got a lot more ventilation. And so it's working better for me. And I can, like I said, I can always plug them up with tape. And that way I can, seal it up better if I need it to have less ventilation or whatnot. But, yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. I've seen a lot of people complaining about it online and saying it doesn't work very well for them. I haven't had no issues, and I really like it. I'm thinking about buying another one just because if this one breaks, I need a backup. because I've already bought expensive eggs, and I'm gonna buy more here as soon as the heat of the summer is over. And so I don't want to be losing expensive eggs to, you know, an incubator that breaks down or something. I can always repair it or get parts or whatever later. But if I'm in the middle of an incubation, I haven't turned this thing off since I got it. I've just been running. I've got chicks. Look, check this out. Got 2 baby chicks there. I had 4 and I gave away 1 a couple weeks ago. These ones are about a week and a half old. Then I have 4 more here. I've got the 2 Amy Simonis, and the white one I've hatched. That was the first one I hatched for my chickens. And then I bought that one, the Barbadoo Clay Rooster. And then out here, we've got the 4 that I bought. You can see there's 3 here. And then there's 2 here. And then that black one's a hen that my uncles gave me. And then I have 3 more inside of the other coop on the other side. Oh yeah, we've got chickens going on. I got sorry about all the mess out there. I've got so many projects all over the house and everywhere that I haven't completed. So that's why it's been hell to maintain a job since the motorcycle accident. And so I figured I'd just start working around here and post it online, and maybe I can become a creator and whatnot. And that'd be dope. Yeah. But so that's Kebonnixs incubator. Not bad. I like it. Like I said, I just need to give me another for a backup. It works great for the little home hatchings that I'm doing. All right, thanks for watching. Have a good day. Later.